right, we are live.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Eulalia Day to you. Episode 10 of Eulalia 5e, a Redwall story, right here on the Amphitheater. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope your Tuesday is going swell. My name is Jacob Plick, Walking Jacob on the internet, and got a wonderful, ridiculous tale to tell with my beloved cast of amazing people at this proverbial virtual internet table. So it's going to be a good time. First things first, however, some housekeeping / the announcements. So Saturday, April the 30th. Yep, that's right. At 5 p.m. Eastern time over on DR Cruz Twitch channel. I'll be doing a little bit of extra live D&D 5e one-shot ridiculousness. So come help break my game if you want to. I'll go ahead and share the thingy in the chat and stuff, so you can go look at that and see who I'm playing with. It's going to be really cool. It's over in my Duel and Dragons world, and it's canon. So if you want to throw a dragon in there and make me explain the lore of that, great. You want to do some decorated things? Blow that up that way? Also great. April and Dimples know a good bit about all that. So should be a good time. So perfect. Rafiki's here as I'm talking about his wonderful weekend of awesomeness. So wonderful. So let's see what else. Any AMGM stuff to update there, Billiam?
Yes, we are coming back this Friday morning, and we have been saving everything up like a really good pustule that needs to be expressed, and it is coming out whether you want it or not Friday morning, and the resulting explosion will be just as probably disgusting. So join us Friday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern for the quote-unquote show.
That was a choice. Wow. Wow. What a choice you made there. Okay, great. Awesome. But anywho, and anyway, since she was not here with us last week, I have to officially welcome back one Crystal to the table and say hello and hi. First of all, how are you? We've missed you.
I'm good. I missed you guys too.
Yay! You need to go check out the live tweet thread that Crystal
Yes.
on her Twitter. It's a riot. Anyway, Crystal, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm playing Saoirse O'Kara, the crow sorceress who is very confused as to where things are right now.
That's probably fair. Well, what can you do? Anywho, since it's always a good time whenever this person said stuff. April, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, friends. My name is April. I am playing Nor, the clerical otter.
Yeah, you are. Who's that kitty right there?
This is Evelyn. She's a terror.
And Mr. Prince, what's happening over there in your world? Who are you playing?
What's happening? I'm Prince, also known as Doubles of Dice. I am playing Core, the sea otter paladin of peace and love and protecting friends and carrying Martin's sword. Those are things that Core does.
And those are things. Ain't that the truth? Something that I'm sure we will be testing out a little bit tonight. So, Lynn, who are you and who are you playing?
Hey, I'm Lynn, and I am playing Alice, the Squirrel Ranger.
With a new flower crown.
Yes.
Dreams are weird.
Yeah. Very weird.
What can you do? Bill, after a fine display of disgustingness, who are you playing?
I'm going to try and use less vivid vocabulary in my discussion of my my character tonight. I am playing Tamarisk Ribald, the hare rogue that is very excited to get his proverbial beak wet with some of this danger.
Cool. You did it anyway. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Well, without further ado, we should probably hop into episode 10, Darkness Meets Destiny. Nice title, Bill. Good on you. Let's hit that intro and tell a Redwall story.
All right, we are.
Abbey built of red sandstone, dear to us as if our own. Cinder call across the land, all shall feel the mountains hand. Eulalia, my heart will sing. Eulalia, the bells will ring. Eulalia, Eulalia.
And we're back.
All right. So, last time over here on Eulalia 5e, a Redwall story, in the midst of a Spring Awakening celebration and a bit of remembrance for a lost member of the Skullcalar community, there was dinner and discussion of continuing what was the original plan, which was the talent show. And our lovely Children of Destiny decided to put together a bit of a group number filled with stunts and fire and absolute ridiculousness. And it shockingly went very, very well. And what was noticed was the remainder of the folks that were around decided to essentially stop looking not necessarily down, but looking at the Children of Destiny as strangers and a bit of part of the crew, some level of acceptance. But it was also getting late, and there was much to do as the unwanted still threatened our, what we believe anyway, our beloved moss flower, as well as are on the way allegedly to Redwall Abbey to tear down those walls of red. Tiring for the evening at Scragg's very, maybe surprisingly large house. He mentioned there was a decent reason for that, as at some point he was a bit of a family man, no longer, for some reason that is still remains to be seen. And bread was broken, a lovely rest was had, and Alice had a bit of a dream of a past transgression, bit of a bully situation, and maybe perhaps a conversation with Da, for example. And plans were put together, and a quick journey back into the forest, visit Wisanis, and a goodbye to Brother Yurik, who hopefully will make it back to Redwall in one piece, as we yellowish light causing our Children of Destiny to reappear in southward proper in the grasslands, just off the beaten path, as a large cloud of darkness seems to descend on the path headed directly for them. So that, my friends, along with Scrag, is where we're going to pick up. So just so you know, if you look at our handy dandy map here, you're all currently here. And this particular set of large cloud of darkness is right about here. So, as you look, probably quick glance, that's a good 3,000, 4,000 feet away. So, which,
That's a ways.
in comparison to your previous excursion, Tamarisk is way closer. So, what would you like to do?
Well, Tamarisk, that certainly is. The words were not totally describe how scary looking that thing is.
No, and I'm glad that you are seeing how terrifying it is, which is why I was having second thoughts about our diplomatic approach. It's quite scary, and in fact, one thing I would like to remind you is that a door opened up inside of it, and somebody came out, and they were looking in our direction, myself and Brother Yerrick. I would say that we should be sneaky, at least until we have some sort of plan.
I agree with that, and it's also a little emboldening that the person came out from it, because otherwise my idea that could be a death cloud would still be an option.
Should we maybe not go that direct way, maybe to the side? Or
We could probably, it's not moving that incredibly fast. We could probably go at it from a different direction rather than just straight, maybe go through what remains in the forest over here.
Headed to the west or to the east?
We'll go to let's go to the west.
And Scrag's like, well, suppose now or never. And he spins his long quarterstaff, and he's going to cast Shillelagh as it glows with a green arcane energy. And
welcome to the amphitheater.
speaking for
Please
well,
have
everyone.
a seat. Enjoy the show.
We're with you.
Tamarisk pulls out his bow and arrow and kind of looks over at Alice and says, well, why don't you lead the way? These four are more friendly to you than anybody else.
All right, I think I figure out a
To
route
talk
to get
with
to.
them.
That's the idea, right? We don't want whatever this thing is anywhere near home.
Welcome to the amphitheater.
So you cut
Please have a
to
seat.
the side.
Enjoy the show.
And 1,500 feet. Well, I'm skipping ahead. Sorry. 3,000. It's continuing. It takes just quick math. It seems to be moving a little bit quicker than your previous experience, Tamarisk, for whatever reason. And as it begins to bank just to the sort of the northwest, sort of around the edge of this forest area, right about here, what you described as a door isn't quite accurate. It's just someone just appears out of the cloud, like just from nothingness into existence. Familiar cloaked figure taking out what appears to be a spyglass. Make a perception check.
Which one?
Everyone.
Okay. That's a 9.
Okay.
19.
14.
Okay.
22.
Eh.
That's a hot 6.
Hot 6. So, Nor and Saoirse, you're able to catch the just the outline of a facial expression that seems to be underneath, covered by this long, flowing black robe, as the wind sort of catches it for just a minute, just a second, and you see the outline of light brown fur, these dark blue eyes, and the what appears to be the outline of long, floppy-looking ears. It appears to be a hair.
Nor, is Tamrisk, is that who you saw? Pointing out that it looks like a hair.
I didn't know that it was a hair. And now that Nora's pointed this out to me, can I maybe see if I recognize them?
You look for a longer second. Facial expression does look familiar.
Now I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do. This is confounding. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing. If our goal is to talk to them, then this could either go one of two ways. But I suppose it's worth the risk.
Agreed. And Saoirse's gonna fly over to him.
Right before that happens, the spyglass is sort of pressed down and clasped, and now you're positive. That's Sandra. And the cloaked figure dissipates into the cloud.
Sasha, wait.
Oh.
I think I should be the one to go and talk to her.
Alright.
And Tamarisk's face, as much as is possible covered by fur, just goes white. And
Should we wait?
I'm sorry?
Should we wait?
No, I would appreciate your support. Just in case it does go the other way, that I don't hope it does. However, I feel as though I have at least a common ground to speak with this hair.
Well, I mean, that's a place to start, isn't it? It's better than nothing.
And for the first time, possibly in Tamarisk's life, he puts away his weapons and walks towards the danger.
Okay. So what are the rest of you doing?
Well, I
As
suppose we should-
Tamarisk
I'm following.
hits the path.
Following.
So you're following right behind
Yeah.
everyone?
I'm gonna stay
Yeah,
within
I'm
arm
staying
reach
close.
of
Yeah.
Tamrisk. I just want to be able to poke Tamrisk if I need to.
Okay.
I don't know these peoples.
So, as you approach, this large cloud just continues to motion forward slowly. Not menacingly, but maybe to you. It just continues on. 1,000 feet. 800.
As we get a little bit closer, I want to... I have a piece of equipment that I would like to activate. And this piece of
Okay.
equipment is a hero's crown that I believe I got like very early in the campaign. And Jacob, do you remember this?
As always, never. So what does it do?
I also have just a vague memory of it, but it says it says I could basically cast heroism on the party. I don't want to wear it because that feels very.
I'm the captain now.
This
Yeah,
is-
sure.
this is
You don't
not-
want to walk up here wearing a crown?
Yeah, that's not something that I'm super interested in.
Hey, what up?
Especially if their whole jam is like
Yeah.
aggressive
Yeah.
aggressive democracy.
Okay.
So I do want to activate it so everybody does have heroism, but then I'm going to put it back into my bag.
Okay. So, at about 500 feet, the cloud stops shifting. And there's just a moment of silent tension. And then a different figure exits the actual cloud. Much larger figure. 3 times as large, both in size, outwardly, and tall. And that would be enough, probably, if there wasn't a large, shiny battle axe in their right hand. And this gravelly voice sort of echoes through. Do you mean to stop us?
No,
We want to talk.
we would like to talk. Sorry.
It's okay.
Do you mean to talk specifically about what?
About what you're doing. And how to do it better.
What is it that you think that we're doing?
Talk about peace.
We want to tear down the walls.
It's not just peace. It is equality. The figure steps forward 2 paces. The cloud responds. And then another moment passes, and that figure that you saw earlier looks in your direction, Tamarisk, and whispers something into this large creature's ear. And as they bend down, you see the flap sort of loosen as the form of a large badger with a long stripe of silver fur in the middle. Want to talk here?
Yes.
On the road?
Unless you've got a better place.
Particular abbey, perhaps?
Before we get there.
Either way. This confrontation here will not stop us from uniting everything.
This is not a confrontation.
And yet you inhibit the trail.
I want to help you. And I want to help you do this in a way that no one gets hurt.
No one's going to
agree
get hurt.
with you.
Not if you
Those
listen.
at South Sword could say that.
Were you there?
No,
And how do you know?
we've been told.
Everyone that was injured in our fiery display has been healed.
Saoirse's taken aback at that. We weren't told that.
What? But if you committed violence upon these people and you healed them, the scars may be deeper than the skin.
Sometimes that's what change requires.
I agree.
I do not. You don't hurt people to fix problems.
You're doing a great job terrifying everybody.
Sometimes that is also what is required.
You only make enemies. Those people, the people you hurt, those scars run deep. Those come
Saoirse is
back to
going
haunt
to-
you. Those people will come back to haunt you.
Saoirse is going to turn around to her crew and be like, none of you have ever been considered vermin. I have. My people have. I understand their cause a lot better than any of you seem to.
I don't know.
I don't know if you could really talk for all of us. We haven't really shared most of our past. I'm sure we've all gone through hardships, but I don't think
There's a
hurting
difference.
people is the right way to go.
I agree.
Getting
which is why
subjects by violence just creates people who are afraid of you who will rise up.
Which is why we're here to talk with them. But you've got to understand, they're angry, they're hurt.
So are all the
They're
people they
sca-
hurt. So is everyone in there. It's one thing to go after people who make rules of power, but to hurt people who didn't have anything to do, who are just trying to make a living, isn't the right way.
Our mom used to say, hurt people hurt people. That cycle will never end.
You're just going to make somebody else who's going to do this exact same thing next.
I agree. Okay.
And I turn back around to these people and I'm like, what do you plan to do when the people revolt against you? Do you plan to quash their concerns with more violence, to put them in cells, to lock them away, to become the things that you hate? Because they will rise up. It is inevitable. It's the way people work.
And if you did heal them, probably much faster than if you hadn't.
That's just it. That's why all the walls have to come down.
Is there a way that instead of destroying the walls, we could just open the doors? It's much less destructive, much less violence, achieves the same goal that you like, and perhaps violence doesn't need to be necessary.
Walls aren't just meant to keep people out. It's to help. It's to protect. There are things that aren't other people who want to hurt people.
Are they?
Yes, they're very big birds. It tried to eat us. There was another big animal who also tried to eat us. There's a lot of really bad things out there. And I understand that you think that they're keeping you out, and that really needs to be a conversation, but to tear everything down, then you can't have houses either. So should we live outside under the star? I mean, that we've been doing that, but if you're going to tear all walls down, is that all walls or just the walls that you think are the only walls that need to be torn down, because then that's also not fair. Because there are many people without homes who also have no walls. That do they also deserve to go into places to tear down the walls of other people?
Simply the walls that represent the tyranny.
So the walls
And-
that you deem are bad.
Not just me. It's all of us.
Okay.
So what happens when you go to Redwall Abbey? Will there be talk?
Do we get to vote?
Or will this thing disappear?
We are passive voting.
Oh, so
Have
no
you
chat.
actually
happening.
talked to the people at Redwall are actually quite nice and kind of
Yeah.
let anyone in.
Have you talked to the people at the Abbey any time in recent years?
I'm
Or
not
do you
saying
just have
yeah.
a certain impression that we're a whole violent bunch?
Oh no. You're not a violent bunch. Save that for Salamandastron.
But you're still going to impose violence on the Red Lobby.
You have sick,
No.
old, and injureds, and you're just gonna attack. No chance to.
We're just going to bring the walls down. That's all.
Do you think that no one's going to try to stop this?
You didn't ask anyone there if they wanted the walls to be brought down.
And you also
And then if
just
you-
said
Oh, sorry.
that you're going to Salamandastron after that. You don't think the Long Patrol will fight against you, and that will result in much more violence.
As long as the walls come down.
So you'll do whatever it takes.
No matter the
You'll
little
hurt
people that
you
gets
kill.
crushed.
Bring down the walls
Won't
that you
you?
believe are tyranny.
All they require is sacrifice.
After all, aren't you doing what you believe?
I'm
that
not
not why you're here
imposing
on this
my
path?
beliefs on someone else. We are offering options. But I will defend the Abbey until I die. Those are my people.
You said that all of you in there share the same belief. Is that true?
Motions back towards the cloud, and you see a much smaller figure walk through, still cloaked. Brings it back, and no worries, do your thing. And you see the outline of a small pine marten with a dark brown fur, ears sort of pointed up, and with like the outline of yellowish fur, and a long kind of light yellow rest that sort of goes down to the tunic area. Well, some of us actually used to call Redwall home.
What happened?
Well,
Instead of
sometimes you ask questions, and some folks don't care for that too much. They say, why are you asking all of these questions? Just the abbot.
May I
Well, let
ask
me-
what kind of questions you asked?
Why not unite everyone? We don't have the room for everyone. But yet the walls are open to all. Contradictory, no?
I mean, yes, but if everyone decided to move to Redwall Abbey, then everyone would starve. Then
Why?
There's not enough food for everyone on the world. That doesn't work. This is why people spread out and go to different lands. And some people just want to explore and enjoy things outside of a castle, an abbey, a place, a home.
But
Some don't
everyone
get
should
that
be able
choice.
to have a home.
Were you kicked out of the Abbey? Did they forcibly remove you and your friends? Because if so, that's not fair, and we should go talk to them
Yes.
about that.
We will have words if that is the case. Because as far as I'm concerned, if that is the case, then you are a citizen of Redwall Abbey. And I
DM.
protect the citizens of Redwall Abbey.
Question,
Mhm.
DM. Nora and Cora have been living at Redwall for a while. Have we ever seen anyone kicked out or denied a place at
You
Redwall?
haven't.
Okay, I just wanted that
But-
clarified.
Those of you that were inside the room where Abbot Clayton was sort of by himself, remember a conversation
Mhm.
about this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I have my own problems with certain aspects of the Abbey and how things are run. I have those same questions. I barely live in the Abbey, but I don't think sending an unprovoked invading force against just the everyday people that live there. I would like to know. You said, I agree with all that you want. You want equality for everyone, no walls. But you are going to crush the very people that you want. Or do you just mean to get rid of everybody, burn the Abbey down, everything around it?
No, I really mean to open it up, expand even.
So
And help
then
us
do you-
understand.
Sorry. Do you help with the expansion efforts after you leave?
Of course.
To what extent? Do you help find more sources for food and build more farmland and homes? Because if so, then that is a different conversation, but we still should talk with the abbot and come up with a more peaceful way.
You know what? I think one thing that needs to be asked is who becomes in charge?
Are you in charge of everyone then? Are you the
It's a
king?
conversation that we could have.
And
Now,
In the places you have taken down walls, who leads those places now?
currently, that is the unwanted, but it's less so about
the citizens
king.
of the places don't get to make choices on who is in charge. Just they get a
They
coup.
feel different.
Everyone feels different when they've been attacked and healed.
In time, they will come around.
if not,
Well, then it's not. They take them out. They've already said that.
Honestly, this feels like an empire you are trying to build, and whether the goals of it being equality aside, you are building an empire, and this is not in. Let's just say empires have not gone well in the past, and especially when the citizens of those places do not accept that empire. I will say that we should have a conversation between us and the abbot to make sure that that any rights could be made wrong. I'm sorry. Whoa, that was the wrong way. Any wrongs should be made right again, and maybe it can be opened up in a more civilized way. But what you are talking about is destroying civilizations, and that is not something that I think anybody can be accepting of.
Citizens of Southward seem to disagree.
I have a question.
Insight check, can I please?
Please.
8.
Would you be
You mentioned conversation. What if you help us bring the walls down? What if perhaps maybe it isn't physical?
Precisely. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here. I want everyone to have an equal place.
And out from the cloud, on the other side, Sandra pops up, brings the hood down. Tamarisk. It's been some time.
And the whiteness just comes back, and he says, I can't believe it's you. I had heard you were in Southsword, but I feared the worst. What are you doing here? Do you feel this way?
I believe to be right. We both had our disagreements with the situation along patrol. Did we not?
Yeah. Tamarisk looks sheepishly down kind of at his feet and says, yes, but my choice was my own. I was not making choices for others. Cora's right that we don't have the right to make choices for others, and that's what you're doing, Sandra.
But if it brings equality for all, is it not worth giving it a try? Sometimes desperate actions and desperate measures create the change that we need.
Sandra, you know that I left the Long Patrol because I didn't believe in the mission that they were doing. It just seemed silly, so I agree with you in part. But, as we are saying, you cannot build empires against people's will. And in order for you to do what I think you are doing, which again is noble, you must at first have a conversation. And if equality and openness and helping and all of the kindness that can be within people's hearts is rejected with malice and anger, then that's a different conversation. But you must have that first one before resulting in anger first.
The badger sort of weighs a very large paw. Enough. If you wish to have this conversation, then march with us.
Saoirse's going to.
Alice is gonna look at Tamarisk. Well, we're here. This is what we wanted to do.
Me.
We'll see.
I think looking at the size of the clouds, we at the very least have a better chance of defending or succeeding in battle if things go wrong if we are at the Abbey. In the meantime, we could use the time to talk to them and maybe to Sandra to get a little bit more information. We are only delaying. We are not making a decision right now. Noah, Cor, what do you think?
I follow Cole.
I hate this. I do. This is not going to end well. They're not going to listen to us. They're going to attack my home.
We have
No,
to at
they
least
aren't.
try.
We're going to
Cor, you're
march
not
with them to
understanding.
our walls and watch them tear them down. Is that what you all want?
We won't
Core.
watch them tear them down. If they start to tear them down, we stop them.
Then they'll kill us. We'll be surrounded. We'll be
That's
with
not-
them. We are part of the attacking force at that point. What will the others think of us when we are here marching with the unwanted to our abbey?
we're trying to find a solution before that happens. We're not marching with them, we're trying.
You can try and stop us now. Your call, Otter.
There's just going to plead with them, with Core, with everyone. Look, you have to understand. They only want what we all want. Peace.
You really honestly believe that? You honestly
Yes.
believe people who are marching here with a dark cloud of destruction are here to bring peace? You tell me that with your heart of hearts, that is the way to bring peace to someone's doorstep.
Whether you agree with me or not, I'm joining them. So you can come with me. Or you can stand against me, Core.
I take out Martin's sword. I bring it in front of me. I will protect Redwall Abbey until I die. Back. Turn away.
As soon as Core turns away, Nora looks at Tamarisk and Alice and Core, and Tamarisk and Alice and Core and Saoirse, and then turns around and walks off, catches up with Core.
Are you
We have
headed
to
north?
find the water and head. We can move faster in the water.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Hold on a sec. I don't know that I understood your plan in the moment. So your plan is to beat them, not necessarily
Yes.
walk with them.
I want to beat them and warn the people of the Abbey to be prepared. This
Okay.
is something they won't see this coming.
Okay. I think Alice sees that. She'll go, Tamarisk. Why don't you seem to have it in here. I'll talk to them. Spend time with them. I'll try my best to keep everybody together, but some of us should at least go. And I'll come back regardless.
As
Okay.
that conversation escalates,
Mm-hmm.
as Nora and Core, as you're heading down the path, maybe looking around, seeing if there's a body of water nearby, he calls out to you. River dogs. You spin back around, or do you keep walking?
I look over my shoulder.
I stop.
Sure.
Okay. He waves a hand, and the darkness completely dissipates. And he looks and he nods down, and everyone drops their hoods, and you see a collection of about 25 different creatures: stoats, squirrels, fox, additional pine marten, mice, mostly mice.
Any crows?
Actually, 2. And this is merely a precautionary measure. If you do decide to head and beat us there, I won't try and stop you. None of us will. It is up to you. Fate calls to you this day, both of you, all of you. As we write the history of Mossflower Wood, together, separate or otherwise.
Saoirse's gonna fly over to the crows.
Do we see any siege weapons or any sort of destructive machinery?
Make a perception check.
On it.
After that happens, I'm going to cast guidance on Core, just in case.
I'll roll as well for that.
So that's a 23 perception.
Good one.
Nothing that large. But you do see underneath the cloaks, similar to your glowing green, is a glowing red.
I'm going to lean over to Alice and say, I like this plan. Redwall should be at least warned that they are coming to prepare. And if you go with Norn Core, that could be helpful in preparing. All right. Did you all hear that? I'm
No.
the only one that hears it.
Oh, hey!
I think you're here. I think you're-
Cat Tip, what up? Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Buzz. So anyway,
Okay.
I was good, but what I could get is a bit of intel on their capabilities,
Yeah.
or perhaps do some sabotage if things come to it.
I think Conspiratory, she gets really close. It's like, I was thinking the same thing. You have good eyes for these things. At least one of us gets a good idea of what's going on, rather than nothing. I'm hoping for the best and hoping that they're true to their word, but safe than sorry.
Well, if this is the last time we see each other, good luck and be safe.
You know the way. Well, at least you know the way back. If from the trees, she'll show her hand, and then if Taris will let her, she'll give him a hug.
Yeah, I think Tamarisk is a little bit shocked by that, but it's very welcome once it happens, and then you kind of feel Tamarisk's paws on your back as well.
You two take care. I know you're capable. Hopefully things don't come to the worst, but good luck for all of us, I guess.
A quick point of order. So, Alice, you're heading out as well?
Yeah. She's gonna kind of like wade toward the water, like trying as much as she can. I don't know if like she'll go as far as trying to get to the two otters.
Sure. So
Yeah, Core will let you sit on his belly as.
Oh. Well, I think Alice. You've seen Alice in the water. She's not like incredibly like. There's like doggy paddling happening than more than like. She is not. She is way more clumsy at this than she is like jumping from tree to tree on land.
So, Nordcore. So you've got pretty limited options here. But so you could head back south, towards the actual to the east. You would know this just on stories probably from your dad and things like that of the Great Inland Lake and the story of the Marfox Island, and use that to cut to the east and then hightail it north. Might help you, it might hurt you. Either way, like walking, typically you're still 2.5 days away. So you're trying to speed things up. So we'll sort of see how that manifests itself.
Quick point of
an idea.
I have an idea too.
I wonder if we have the same idea.
What's your idea?
I'm thinking of summoning an ant and basically
There it was.
having an ant go at a jog, and I imagine that'll go a lot faster than us.
That was not my idea, but that's so much better than my idea that I am embarrassed that my idea was just to ask Musanix to take us home. I was gonna be like,
Yeah, we can just do it
teleport.
then.
I want to do some Lord of the Rings shit. You just do it.
No, I
Be
don't.
carried by
I
ant.
don't want to be teleported. I would like to be carried like a baby by an ant.
Okay.
Alice would
Certainly
feel
ca-
very comfortable. Run up and down the tree.
Yep.
Okay.
She can.
So-
She can sort of also like direct through like, and if there's any like high terrain, make it easier for this thing to get through.
So, Core, what do you summon this? Do you summon this on the path? You wait a while? What's the plan?
No, I literally like. So as we're walking away, if I realize the water is a little bit far away, I was like, wait a
Yeah.
second. Wait. I have an idea. And I look back at Tamaris and Saoirse, and I'm like, see you there. And then I'm like, whatever I have to do to cast this thing to make the ant, I'm like,
Yeah. No, you just feel it, and like this large glow of green energy, and then a small mote of green light hits the grass, and as this large tree ant, though it has tree ant sapling stats now. Okay.
It doesn't have- it's not.
I
Not the
feel
god
cheated.
Not the god killer.
I would like. I feel cheated.
I'm just
Tiny
holding on
grass.
to it as it grows up, and I do the thing like the adventurer look as I'm getting pulled up by the rope, but it's
100%.
being pulled up by a
And
tree.
You have a captive crowd as the tree ant grows to its full size, and everyone just scans up. You.
Quick question: did we actually check what the walking speed of a tree ant was before we did this?
I was just doing it. It's 30.
Because it's the
Yeah,
same
totally.
walking speed as me.
Well, you know,
But
we can. You know what? We can,
however,
it can
comma,
go. It can. We can
Rule
sleep and I'll keep
motherfucking
going.
cool, because I love this. So, I will say that because let's be honest, like the your legs and their legs,
Yeah, it should
very
be the
very
same.
different.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
So-
like if it can go, it can maybe keep going while we rest. Like we can go longer than 8 hours. So
Yeah.
2
And we could
days.
just we could each keep summoning a tree ant.
Mhm.
We'll be there in like
Per
45
day.
minutes.
We are there.
Yeah,
As you
that's the
all,
move.
there's
Yes,
this
split.
split party. It's all right. Still hasn't beaten my record, which is three-way split and 3 different times. So that's the line. So
Cow.
come on, people.
Oh, we're only an hour in.
Yeah, yeah. Anything's fucking possible. You're not wrong. As the badger watches the tree grow, and everyone there's definitely an air of surprise from this group, no doubt. The warriors are full of surprises, I see. I wonder if we are too.
I would assume so.
Shall we?
Yeah.
And they begin to march forward. You get in step. You go ahead, behind. What's the play? I know, Saoirse, you're joining in with Crow fam. We'll get to it. In a
Yeah.
second. But what about you, Tamarisk?
I think I would probably go over and talk to Sandra.
Okay. And as you're all putting things together, Scrag is bewildered. I have to admit, I'm out of my depth here. And kind of looks over to both of you and nods and continues on with as well.
Well, we're glad to have you along with us. This could get bad, and having support is very welcome, of course.
Of course. So, you all that are walking on the land travel for what appears to be about a half a day. And then just almost wordlessly, all right, everyone, lunch. And it probably feels strangely ordinary, especially for you, Tamarisk, actually. And Saoirse, you are greeted actually fairly warmly. And my dear, wasn't expecting one of us to try and stop us, so that is mighty interesting.
I'm not trying to stop anything.
No? Your friends seem to think otherwise.
Yeah, well, they don't understand.
No?
They've never been like us.
That's fair. Mahani, by the way.
Saoirse.
And this is my mate, Sana.
It's a pleasure to meet you both.
She nods. Well, either way, it seems we're going to have quite a interesting few days together.
Yeah.
You happen to have any carrion on you?
Where do you two hail from? Does she still have any of the snake left?
No way. It is
No.
gone.
Dang it. No.
Oh.
No, I think I went through my rations.
Well, I detect we have kindred both in spirit and likely in family. Pine Grove?
Likely. I'm sorry?
Pine Grove?
Yeah.
Spent some time there as chicks, then headed southward. We're a bit new to this here, but I believe in what oops, hold on. Where you scared where she go? I believe in what Elijah says.
Yeah.
Strong oath,
I,
that one.
I fully agree. I'd like to see equality for everyone.
I detect some naivete from your compatriots, though I don't blame them.
Yeah, most of them from the Abbey.
I gathered. Though we do not underestimate their strength. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Duval. Duval.
Gods. I don't want to fight them.
So what happens when things maybe don't go your way? How far are you willing to go?
Talk our way through it.
If that fails,
I don't
she
know.
just nods at the pause.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd probably have to talk with my grandma about it. She's the one that taught me how to use this.
Kind of like kind of like looking closer at it. Nifty. Can you do that
Do
throwing
you
tree
have
thing?
magic?
That would be telling.
Can.
Let's say the answer is yes to that question.
Good.
I would assume that the answer is yes to the following question, which is you can probably do the same.
I can.
I have to admit, I'm quite excited. Whether you're to be a friend or an opponent, it's going to be a good time regardless.
I think we're going to be good friends.
That's the bet you're making, huh?
And once all this is over, once all this is over, I'll take you back to meet my gran. I think she'd like you.
Interesting. Interesting. This looks off.
Okay.
Tamarisk.
Yes. Present.
I hope so. Not exactly how you expected to meet me again, huh?
Right there.
The...
Oh, 1 second.
Yep. No sweat.
You made
That's-
Tamarisk run away.
Tamarisk ran away. Wouldn't be the first time.
Tamarisk hates fun and in-depth conversations.
Yeah.
This might make me feel feels. I gotta hide.
In the meantime, thank you, Kara Comfort Studios, for that raid. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes. And he's very sheepish at the moment. Like, I don't think Tamarisk knows how to feel right now.
Welcome to the amphitheater.
And
Please have a
so
seat.
he says,
Enjoy the show.
No, I did not expect to see you like this at all.
She reaches out and grabs your chin, just like this, and lifts you so that you're eye to eye. You're still cute. Good.
He goes completely red.
There you are.
Sandra, I feel weird because I know why you're doing what you're doing. But how? How did you get here? How did you end up in Southsword?
Welcome to the amphitheater.
Well, once I
Please
realized
have a
that
seat. Enjoy the
the
show.
situations of both Redwall Abbey and Salamanashron were fairly similar. One more militant than the other, of course. But still the same. And then at the castle, there was a bit of a groundswell of conversation. And then next thing we know, giving gifts. She raises her left paw. The reddish glow. Something Elijah didn't quite mention. But
What is that? And who gave it to you?
hopefully it's a gift you're not going to have to see.
Sandra, I'm going to ask you a very important question. And I hope I can trade on our history together, that you will answer honestly. Have you hurt people?
No.
Yeah, that's gonna be an insight on from me, dog. That's
One.
that's a 15.
He seems to be telling the truth. There is honesty in those eyes.
Okay. Now, I realize that may have not been clear, and forgive me, I like to
Press.
overanalyze a bit. But when I say hurt people, I don't mean the fact that you have now freed them and now they are more liberated and whatever, and so that cancels out the fact that there was blood spills. Perhaps I should have been a bit more clear in my question.
You spilled blood, Tamarisk.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, of course.
So then you mean to pry into the specifics? Your ledger isn't exactly clear either.
And I carry that guilt with me to this day.
You understand what we're doing.
I don't see any guilt in your eyes. I see pride, I see acceptance, and I see a bit of glory seeking, to be honest. And that terrifies me.
Glory seeking.
Yes, you have said that you're part of a movement. You're changing the world. You're making things better. And I don't know that I understand the why you are doing it this way. You know, my friends are not wrong. They have said that there are other ways to do what it is you're trying to do, but I cannot believe in my soul that you have not hurt people. Your badger friend, in fact, said that there were injuries, and those injuries didn't just come from nowhere.
You're right.
Where did they come from, Sandra?
The walls.
They collapsed on
Sometimes.
people.
Not quite on, fortunately. They were able to evacuate. There was of course, some shrapnel, if you will. Or no Corsair, Tamarisk. You may disagree with the methods. What we're doing is the right thing.
Sandra,
Think about it this way. All of this has been this way for thousands of seasons. Thousands of seasons. We used to joke about it. Here come the Corsairs again and again and again. We stand strong against them. But if all was right, there'd be no reason to invade.
Sandra, could you tell me, if the abbot does not want to give up power, what will you do with him?
Him?
Yes.
He would be fine. And the walls will just come down versus one. Rewind. The walls come down quickly or in time. That's really what it comes down to.
The abbot will not let the walls come down. And if he does not,
How do you know?
well, this is a hypothetical, of course. And in that hypothetical, I wonder how far you will go. Are you prepared to kill for your cause?
King Truffin and Queen Mario Squirrel, King and Queen of Southsword. They had a lot to say. In a very shrill, angry, upset manner. And then we took one wall down. And then we took a second wall down. The third and fourth, we took down together.
With the king and queen?
Yes.
Sandra, you were always idealistic and headstrong. But I
We met you.
feel as though something has changed. And I would like to do some sort of check to see whether there is a connection between the red symbol and this kind of new Sandra.
Interesting.
I would imagine it would be Arcana, but I'll leave that up to you.
It would be.
Okay, I have a +0, so this is going to be the Arcana of my life. 19.
You take a minute and you just stare into it in the middle of you having this conversation. You try to gaze what possibly could this be about? You've known this hair for how long?
19 years.
What you gather is both a combination of the initial insight. There is certainly, what's the word? Forthright? An air of righteousness, no doubt. Right? And there is clearly some power in whatever this is. That's not even what is the frightening part. It's the fact that the outline, the tree on your hand, tree on her hand, matches.
Fuck. Sandra.
And that,
Oh.
Yep. And that is where we're going to switch to Nor, Core, and Alice. I'm not sorry at all.
Oh, good. I love it.
So, you bound tree in the sky. About, honestly, a good 10 feet over the trees in Mossflower Wood. Pretty decently. As you head north. What are you doing? Any conversation being had?
So, do you have a plan, or are you just going to? What's next? Seem to hit a bit of a nerve back there.
Gonna go tell everyone what's gonna happen.
I also think we need to talk to the abbot.
Oh, certainly.
If this was the kind of thing they were doing, then maybe it is time for a change, but not the way.
But not with violence.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think you necessarily have to raise everything to change things. Sometimes that is what's needed. You know, I've seen farmers set their farms on fire. I don't exactly know how farming works, but apparently it's good for the soil. Nonetheless,
We've
Sorry,
also
Kat.
seen what happens when people think that what you have you shouldn't have, and they should be able to take it.
Well,
People
here's the
die.
thing
People
that
get hurt.
really, really bothered me, and I think it should bother all of you, is that when they took over blah 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 place, they took over leading it too. That means that the people there didn't have much of a say in what happened next. So you come to my home, you tear down my walls, and then you tell me you're taking over. You can have a peaceful transition of power after that, but that wasn't very peaceful, if you ask me.
Certainly not if you scare people. Easy to get them to do.
Yes, a dark, terrifying cloud that is bringing impending troops, that definitely is going to make people feel warm and cozy at night, I'm sure.
And even
Then
if-
again, we're basically moving, 60 miles per hour on a giant tree. I can't imagine that'll be exactly peaceful, but I do have Martin's sword, so that might help.
I mean, even if what they're doing is right and for good reason, and everything they're saying is true, scared people react.
And that's was part of the part that bothered me. Was bringing down the walls,
And
not caring.
did they tell all the people what was happening? Did everyone get notice that the walls were coming down and why they were being removed from their homes and
I didn't get
why
the
this
feeling.
was happening? It's one thing to take down a position of power, but I don't know about the people.
Yes, I have never really sit straight with the Abbey or the Abbot. Live on the forest and all, but
I don't care about the Abbey, the Abbot. Honestly, I care about the people of that.
yes, exactly. I wouldn't want all that to happen. Trampling over the children, my father, yours, and anyone else that doesn't have, that is just living here.
Our fathers will step out to try to protect the Abbey.
I know.
If
I
we
mean-
don't make it there before everyone else, our families could die.
My father's in no condition to defend the
Maybe
place.
they don't intend to hurt or kill people, but if
Just
Groups of-
because they don't intend to doesn't mean people in the Abbey won't react.
a large group of weapons
that's exactly what I mean.
I do not trust. So I have an idea that no matter what happens, we send people that can't fight into the forest.
We should make sure they get
If they
away.
want to bring down the walls, at least, and we don't find a way, we can at least have that many people away from it.
Also, they said after the Abbey, where are they going?
Salmanistron.
And if Saoirse decides to go with them, she has a ticket in. She has a way to get past the barriers and go straight in. And if she decides, who's going to warn them?
That wall is not a physical wall. So how
what
does
do they
one
tear
tear
down?
down a magical wall?
They
That
would
is
have to
very,
destroy the
very
magic.
confusing to
And
me.
if they destroy the magic, I don't know
Oh,
what happens.
they're not going to the town. They're going to Salmanistron to
Well, then
the...
what's the difference? Tear down the tree then. Why? What? If they don't want walls,
the mountain.
is a rope ladder the same as a wall? If you can't get up there,
I think they mean...
is that the same?
I think they mean everything.
So they
the
would
structure. The
tear down the
structure.
tree, which could destroy the magic.
I guess this all sounds like I want to go where I please when I want to. Does that not seem bothersome to
Extremely so.
everyone? Like, even the people there. Like, imagine I said, hey, I want to have my house to myself. Just read a book or enjoy me time. And someone was just like, no, your doors doesn't matter, and I'm just going to walk into your house. And they caught me in the middle of my me time. And that would be very, very uncomfortable and unfair.
Oh, this is so complicated. I just love it. It's easier when you
Do
just
they
live
get
by
to
yourself.
decide who gets homes then?
It's up to them.
Would they kick all of us out of the abbey and then they take our homes and our beds?
They have the weapons. They have the numbers too.
I
they can.
don't, they didn't really explain the transition of power and what it would mean once they open everything up and decide who gets to live where. Because what if they decide that we're not worthy of living in the abbey? Because we live there now. We've lost our home once to someone who decided that we shouldn't be allowed to have it anymore. We lost a lot of people that day. And it's not fair for one person to say that you don't get to live where you live.
That's why we have to rush home.
They can have all this stuff, these things, these words. I just want to keep people safe.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we agree that that's the real goal.
Exactly.
It's the people.
You bound towards quickly. Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of that, perhaps we should go on foot for the last part before they think some rampaging beast is coming in through here.
That's true. We don't want to scare everyone and have them attack us and do exactly what we're worried about.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
You still have plenty of time to figure that out. But in the meanwhile, after that wonderfulness, we're going to take a break.
Maybe.
Boy, oh boy. Cannot
Oh.
wait to see
Boy.
what happens next. Many revelations,
Oh, boy.
many conversations, some hella good ass RP. Well done, everyone. So, back in a few minutes. Get some refills because it's quite a bumpy ride to continue. So, back in a few.
You're up, buddy.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful little break ski. Boy, we have some trickiness to have to deal with, huh? As we have a two-way or just a party split, if you will, of moral choices and quandaries. So, as the afternoon of your Group A, Group B travels continues into the early evening, do Coronor and Alice, how far into the night are you going to travel?
Do we have to stop? If we
Don't
have
have to.
Could we sleep in the tree?
You can certainly try.
I could sleep in the tree. Tree's no problem.
Alice definitely can sleep in the tree. I just
I
feel like
think
that's
Alice would try
We
it.
come down,
Alice,
we wake
Alice,
up.
100%.
We wake up. It's like, where's Core?
I'm
What
pretty
year is
sure.
it? Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure that Core will call for a break at some point.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
Okay.
because Core would feel for the tree. I don't know how to better put it. Core would be like, this tree has been running for this long and I feel bad. The same
How
way
you doing, tree?
You got a heart.
and I'm
Yeah.
just like, you
Salute.
should
100%.
rest. We should eat. Definitely eat.
So set up camp for the night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how well Core would sleep, especially if he sees that fucking cloud.
That's fair. That's fair. What is sort of ironic about that statement is as you begin to make camp, the weather is still fairly temperate, a little on the colder side, so a bit nipply, and there is some cloud cover above head instead of on the road this time now, so maybe safer. Who knows? But you're at this point with the way that you're traveling. You actually have a couple of options. You could actually stay the night and just make camp where you are outside the forest or inside the forest. But you know that if you hoof it a little longer, at some point the old St. Ninia's Church is an option, as well as a very familiar tree.
Because the weather is getting bad, I would suggest either the church or the tree.
Let's go to the.
I don't want to be in a tree in bad weather.
Yeah. Let's go.
Church
how
it
about the
is.
Church. Yeah.
Okay. So you essentially sort of hoof it into late into the night. Probably what you guesstimate. Actually, make a survival check for me.
I'm going to guide myself because I have a +4 in
Yeah.
survival. So
Is this a? This is a forest thing, right?
Oh, wait,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I get.
actually,
Okay. I get a double proficiency bonus. Good. That's pretty good. It's not bad.
hey, it's like I'm actually proficient in survival. I might
22.
be all right.
21.
17.
We know our
Yeah.
outside.
Clearly.
Ah.
So, just based off of the set of not exhaustion for the sake of the definition, but based off of how tired you are, and the amount of distance that you traveled, you gather it's about 3 hours until sunrise at this point. So, if you wanted to get a long rest, you're gonna have to find some place pretty dark, or be woken up by some sunlight if there is no cloud cover in the morning. But the the church itself is very deserted. You would all know that at one point it was actually destroyed completely, several hundred seasons ago. But after several conversations about it, it became a bit of a historical landmark. So it was actually rebuilt, and every now and again there are badniks that like to try to, allegedly anyway, like to stay the night here. Fortunately for your particular rest, seems to be quite empty. But and there are several, like, there's no like pews or anything like that. It's just the walls and this really old stained glass window that has what appears to be the outline of a large, well, not large, but a mouse that is wearing a very long habit, and it says Abbess Germain in like this like golden plate, signifying this abbess from a long time ago. Greater Loamhedge Abbey, as some of you probably know. So you're all passing out. Somebody taking watch. What's the deal?
We should do watches.
Mhm.
Nor will take first watch.
Okay. Wonderful. So, anything that you're doing before you all retire? Alice, Core?
Nom noms.
Yeah.
Nom noms. Nor is pulling out the bag of food.
And
Rough.
and-
It's sludge.
hold
Rough,
up,
buddy. Go for it,
I
go
was
for
ready
it.
for this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Cor is going to use Purify Food and Drink.
There it is. I was waiting for it too.
So there's no poison and disease in this food. It might not be the best, might be a little stale, but it doesn't. It's not gonna hurt you.
I'd gather that there's definitely lots of mold and it smells awful, and some of it is absolutely in decay, thanks to the spell.
The top layer is good. The top layer is from this morning. I took it for breakfast.
True,
True.
but I'm doing it on the whole bag. So
Yeah.
You gotta be that
Take your
smart.
time. Bing, bing,
I'm,
bing, bing, bing.
I'm
bing.
extending the
Absolutely.
life of this bag a little while longer.
Indeed. Indeed. All right. So as you have a quick, very late dinner, and Alice and Core, you head to sleep. Nora, give me a perception check.
Perception. 6. I rolled a 2.
Cool.
Hope no one tries to kill us in our sleep.
We'll see in a second. What as you are enjoying your watch, still forms of your brother and friend, what's Nora thinking about currently?
I think what Nora's doing actually, because of the clouds, is druid crafting and predicting the weather for the next day. Because it's part of druid craft. And just is kind of distracted just doing a weather report.
Love that. That's
Get an idea for their
fan-
travels the next day.
That is fantastic. Let me see. Read. All right. So the as the effect manifests, you see inside this golden orb a cloud. Looks like it's going to be rain tomorrow.
Just pulls her hood up.
Wonderful. But other than that, when your thoughts, your watch completes without issue. Were you waking up next?
Who wants to do second watch?
Alice can do the next one.
Okay. I poke Alice. It's your turn, and tomorrow there'll be rain. And Nora just lays down.
Well, no, it's like, well, hope we can get some good rest. And I think while Alice is on watch, she is going to half druidcraft, like use a little bit of druidcraft, but also like her some of her weaving stuff. So she's gonna make at least one like of those like straw like kind of cloak things like the just for like someone for like keep rain.
Okay. And what's on Alice's mind during this particular watch?
She's just trying to keep her mind off the having to talk to the abbot, considering like the way she left, and
Fair enough.
trying to keep it together and hope that they're able to do something, because that the amount of people what she's seen has not inspired much confidence that if they were to attack the abbey that they could do anything.
Okay. Go ahead, give me a perception check.
All right. Oh boy, 6. Great. Oof, that is a
Woo! Teamwork.
Makes the dream work. But fortunately, as well, your watch ends with but a sunrise. But safe it appears to be.
good. Not dead in our sleep. Good. Good.
As you wake up, Core.
Good morning.
Hi, Alice.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm worried.
Same. I can't. Hopefully, they're able to do something.
Yeah, we can hope.
Well,
Cora
we'll
looks
find
at
a
the
way.
sword beside him, and he goes, "I don't know if I deserve this.
No.
Martin's trust. I don't.
Why?
Maybe he chose the wrong person. Maybe I'm doing all of this wrong."
You've been trying your hardest to avoid having to use it. You're very strong, you know?
I mean, I work out.
Yeah. And I think I've seen a lot of strong people misuse that strength. Seen it on the roads more than I'd care to see. And I think it speaks well of you that with all that strength, the weapons, and the armor, and enough temptation to use it that you don't. You want to find another way, you want to make sure no one's hurt. And I think that speaks extremely well of you. And
Do you think they'll listen to me?
I think if there's any way to have them listen, I think you'll be the one to try and get them to. At least. should at least be someone like that everywhere, because my way is usually a little more gets me in trouble, but a little more straightforward.
Sometimes we need a little good trouble.
A lot of people say less than they want, but hopefully with all of us together, we can figure something out.
I hope so. Get some rest. I don't want you to stay up any longer. We figure it out.
Oh, hope your rest is peaceful. And if it starts raining, I made one of these. And she'll hold up the straw rain.
Oh, I'll take it. Oh, thank you.
Kept my mind off things.
I mean, I don't particularly mind being wet. My armor does sometimes, but
You don't want to have to worry about getting the armor rusty.
no, you just so that big bag. It usually has a lot of good grease on it, and you can use that to oil your armor.
Alice is thinking about the dinner, and just like, okay.
That's why Cora always smells like meat.
Or permanently smells like fried chicken.
It all adds
Core
up.
has a
All the
permanent
oil.
poison buff on this armor at all times.
Really? Should the animal that tried to eat Core have taken damage from poison?
Yes.
Is the real question here.
Alternate universe, maybe we'll find out. A one shot for another time. So, Alice, as you retire for a few hours of the morning.
Yeah, I think as she says it at the core, she'll like just climb up a tree, just like straight up, and just like disappear.
Okay. One thing that you would notice as you do, I'm assuming because you're still inside the church, there is a small hole in the rafters that you sort of catch because of the sunlight. That would probably be a good escape mechanism for you if you wanted to head out and sleep in the woods.
Mm-hmm. So we'll take that.
So, Core. What's on Core's mind?
Yes. Cora is trying to think about what he's going to say once he gets back to the Abbey, to the abbot, and to the people. Cora doesn't want this to be a war, like regardless of anything else. But he also doesn't feel like the walls of the Abbey have to come down for the doors to be open. He thinks that it just needs to be a change of people's minds or hearts. And he's trying to wrap his mind around how to do that. And Core, being the person that he is, probably takes a walk out of this place, just sort of like pacing around it, not like completely leaving, but just sort of getting some space away.
Is Martin's sword with you?
Always.
As you are pacing back and forth, there is it's on your back, right?
Yes.
There's a strange bluish glow that seems to come from behind you. Then you look around and don't see anything and realize that it's coming from a sword on your back.
Confusing. I guess Cor would grab the sword.
Okay. Shing, as you look at the sword, familiar voice emanates into your mind. I did choose right.
How do you
You're
know?
as headstrong because you're as headstrong as I once was.
How Did you know if what you were doing was right?
I didn't. But what was more important is that my belief spread to all the creatures around me. That is what you are doing.
Will it matter in
It
the
is
end?
good to question.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have questions.
I did too.
Who did you talk to?
Rose, typically. Denny, sometimes. My father, when I could. He was around still. And the glow sort of shifts, and wearing a familiar Redwall habit, glowing this bluish, translucent energy, it seems, as he paces with you.
Martin, what if they're right and I'm wrong?
As with most things, it's not as simple as right and wrong. That's what makes things complicated.
Can you uncomplicate them for me? I'm trying so hard to do the right thing here.
He points to, like, your stomach. Your gut's not just for shrimp and hot root soup, Core.
Tell that to my dad.
He nods. And there's like a momentary pause, and then that blade has seen many beasts end. Out of all my Abbey warriors, the way that you use it is unique.
How so?
Well, you've yet to slay anyone with it.
I think symbols can be powerful.
I suppose we'll see. And his paw kind of touches your shoulders, and there is this warmth that just emanates around you, like almost to the point of too hot. And then the flash, he's gone.
Still believes in me.
Give him a perception check as well.
Baby, let me roll a hot 6 here.
Hot six, hot six.
No! Even worse.
Even with the motivation. No.
That's a 3. That's a 3.
Nothing seems to be untoward.
Core's lost in his thoughts.
Seems everyone is. For a fairly good reason, I imagine. But you three are not the only ones that have rested for this night. Tamarisk, Saoirse. After a pretty hefty journey, the darkness does not return. As after a while, the magic who you has been identified to you as Elijah spins around. We'll camp here. Kind of points a paw out into the forest to a small clearing. And looks to actually both Saoirse, Tamarisk, as well as Scrag. Would you like to join us and watch?
Yes.
In a second, I would love to just maybe take a quick, and the whole time Tamarisk is like inching over towards Saoirse in one of those like walk, run kind of like he knows he shouldn't be running because it's like very demonstrably problematic, and so he's sort of like very nervous but trying to get over to Saoirse as quickly as possible.
As you're fidgeting over, Elijah looks at you with these very cold, blood red eyes and just says, "You're not a prisoner. Don't need to do any of that."
No, I thank you very much for saying this. I would just, Sasha, would you like to maybe go for a quick walk with me? It's been so long we haven't been in this part of the world. It'd be wonderful to get a sense of, what is in the woods. We are, explorers as much as we are adventurers. And like Tamarisk is pulling bullshit out of his head, like right and left.
Saoirse is face palming, by the way.
Sandra just shakes her head.
All right. Tamarisk, let's go for a walk. We'll be right back.
Yes, we will absolutely both of us be right back, and I'm very excited to go and see what sort of wonderful flora and fauna are in South Sword. I haven't, and he sort of like is bullshitting the whole way that we're walking off into the woods, and as soon as we're kind of out of earshot, Tamarisk looks like deep into Saoirse's eyes, and Saoirse, you can see like his eyes are as big as saucers, and he says, "Saoirse, I don't think that what we have been told is entirely true. It's entirely of their own volition. I wonder if there's not some sort of magic afoot or mind control or something along those lines. I realize I'm just speaking out of turn here. That woman, Sandra, she and I were childhood sweethearts, and long story short, I made the decision to leave, to go to the long patrol, and it was the wrong decision for us. Anyway, she is not who she was back then. And I know people grow over time, and there's evolution and development and maturity and all those things. This is not what that was. She is different.
Are you sure?
Through and through. And she also has the same symbol. Now I know we saw this before, but it is red. And I wonder if this is not something from Musanis, but on the opposite side of the coin.
Perhaps he agrees that things should be equal.
Or perhaps there is. Actually, I'm sorry. Before I say the next thing, did you tell me the nature of Musanis? It was like a spirit of some sorts, right? It's not like a god, but he's sort of like a magical. Like what is the in terms of the
lane? What lane is Musanis in?
Yeah.
Wouldn't go so far as to say a deity, but certainly. But that's probably why it's so confusing. Is because like the only thing you've really ever heard of is the spirit of Martin the Warrior and Blood Wrath, wherever that comes from. So it's unexplainable. But to Bill, it's probably right under a deity.
Okay, so in
level
world,
of guardian.
In world, just some entity of power is sufficient. Okay,
Yeah.
So then I say,
Kind of.
Sesha, what they are doing is good, and I agree with you that we should have equality and we should not be pushing people out, and everybody should have a seat at the same table. And so I will not stop you if you decide to stay with them.
Good.
I simply think that there is something else afoot here, and I believe we should investigate that. Now, I know you had a connection with Musanis. I did not. I think one of us should go and talk to them to see whether or not there is some explainable phenomenon that gives the good side and the bad side, or something along those lines. To be honest, I'm not sure what I'm talking about, but I don't want you to leave this effort if it is something you believe in, but I do think that I should go and at least talk to Musanis and perhaps get some more information about what this is. I'm telling you, Sasha, she is not who she was into her core.
Saoirse's a little bit confused by that. I'm all for investigating what the difference is. But I don't think it's necessary to go back to Musanis right now. I'm pretty sure we can get that information from them. I mean, we all have the same mark. Theirs being red doesn't really make it any different, does it?
Red usually to me means something adversarial, something dangerous. I mean, blood is red. Now, I don't know that I trust Sandra, but have you made some sort of connection with the crows? I saw that there was a forgive the term, a murder of them here. But
An attempted murder.
Good night.
do you feel comfortable seeing whether they would tell you the powers contained within? Because if ours gives such a strong... I wasn't there for this, but it seemed as though what it summoned was incredibly strong. If they could do something similar, that would be terrible for Redwall.
Not necessarily. And she'll... come with me. And she'll lead him over to where the crows are at.
The whole time he's coming back, he's like, that was wonderful, leaves and, the moon too. And I imagine he sees Saoirse kind of face palming, and he just shuts up.
Amazing. So you come back, and there's been a small fire made, and a few of the groups are having sort of small, silent chatter, and the two crows are off to kind of sitting on a large hollowed out log, and just having a small snack. How was your walk?
It was good. My friend here, Tamarisk, he brought up an interesting thing, and she's gonna show the crows the green mark. We noticed you have the same thing, but in red.
Noticed that earlier too.
Could I roll an insight check just to see what kind of reaction that was?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you happen
Absolutely
to know
can.
if there's a difference?
Oh, that I can confirm for
What's the difference then?
you. You'll see. Can't give away the whole game now, dear.
Did you get
What's the fun in all that? Well, to be fair, though, your friend sort of, I guess it did, at least a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a large moving tree. Amazing.
Yeah, well, we can all do that. And she'll tell them about the treant that she summoned.
How much of the story?
Everything except that they were in the magic tree.
Okay.
Tamarisk is like, what are you doing?
These are my people.
And I respect that, but that is currently the face that he is projecting, is like,
Yeah. Well, you certainly know to go for the jugular. I respect that.
Thank you.
We respect that.
Thank you. I wonder, then, if yours is so different. Is there any way we could have a bit of that?
Make a persuasion check.
I am proficient in persuasion. Ooh, that is +2. So 18 plus 5.
23?
Uh-huh.
Fly with me, will you?
Yeah. We'll be back, Tamarisk.
And you fly for about 10 minutes or so. And they find this small area of a pretty similar to where you encountered the bandits. Not exactly the same area. But there is like an area that's like really damp and has this sort of dead leaves. And there's just sort of just look at you and point a wing, and you hear this strange piercing sound, and then as this fiery like flash and ray disappears for a second and then detonates the entire tree.
What?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. That is a 17.
That's enough. You've heard Nan talk about Fireball before.
How'd you do that?
You have your gifts, and we have ours. And they fly up and back towards forest.
Huh.
As you watch the embers just crawl around and grow and grow and grow.
Huh. Okay. I'm gonna fly back after them.
As that's happening, Tamarisk, you're a really bad liar. You know that, right? Sandra walks up to you.
Okay. He's completely off his game at the moment. But he is trying to pretend like he is, and he's like, yes, well, you know, I've never
Stop.
been very good at lying.
Don't perform.
What was I lying about this time?
Just your demeanor. Distracting. Out of character. It's all right to not trust us. Just be honest about it.
Okay, well, in that case, I worry a lot about how you got this and what it means and what you're going to do with it. You say you haven't hurt anybody, but there's all evidence to the contrary. And it's very upsetting. I don't think you are who you were when we were children. And I don't mean that in the way that you've matured. I mean it in the way that you seem possessed of some sort.
She like chuckles. Like, possessed? Some sort of demon from fairy tales? It's hard to confront the truth sometimes.
I don't know what you want me to say, Sandra. I am very concerned. And I worry that this will result in unnecessary deaths. I don't know what that thing on your hand does, but I do know that you're going to use it, and it is going to cause pain.
You know what also causes pain? Working out. And yet, though on a smaller scale, that pain eventually leads to strength and additional dexterity, no?
This is a strange comparison. You cannot say that calisthenics is the same as killing people.
How many people do you think is part of this excursion we've killed, Tamarisk?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? You were asked how many people have I killed?
No, she asked how many people do you think that they've killed
Oh,
during this excursion?
if it was even one, it was too much.
I agree. Good think it was 0.
I have another question, and this just occurred to me.
Of course you do.
Yes, I'm very curious. Did the
You want to take first watch?
Yes, as long as it's with you and you can answer some of these questions.
Elijah, we'll take first watch. And you see everyone, and by this point, Saoirse, you're back as well. Everyone seems to have begun to rest, except Elijah. Elijah is sitting up, knees in front, paws forward, staring into
the fire. Okay. Question for you. Has Elijah eaten or drank anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. For the most part, everyone's been gnawing on some sort of fish and some vegetables.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. That's weird, though. Elijah's a weird guy.
You sure? To the fire, then. Come.
Oh, Elijah wants us to come to the fire?
No, this would be Sandra.
Okay, cool. But Elijah is at the fire, right? Staring into the fire?
No, he's about 15 feet away, staring at it.
Does he seem to have any emotion coming over his face, or is he just sort of, Star Wars droid shut down and just like...
Make a perception check.
All right. That's an 18.
18. It's initially expressionless, but there's a focus and a drive to his expression. He is awake, it seems.
Yeah, and I'm tying that together with you mentioned he had cold red eyes before. Do I know whether red eyes is a typical characteristic of badgers?
Not commonly.
But it's not...
But for those that have the most ferocious of blood wrath, it has happened. Not often. Maybe the entire history of Salamandastron, maybe 11 or 12.
Okay. That feels super relevant.
It's actually really high. So actually more like 5 or 6.
Okay, that's super relevant, and I'm definitely going to make sure I tell that to Saoirse at some point. Okay. So I go over and sit down with Sandra. Tell me, Sandra, when the walls fell at Southsword, you said that there was a king and queen there, and the first wall came down and they were upset. The second one came down and they were also upset. But the third one, they helped you take down. At some point, did they also receive your blessing?
No.
What convinced them to help you?
Gus stares in the fire for a minute, sort of pondering the question. Initially, truthfully, I believe fear. But now, truth. There's a kinship that wasn't there before. I've never witnessed anything like it. I was cynical, just like you, minus the whatever that performance was. But I believe. And when I truly believe, that's when I received this.
Okay, out of character, just remind me, we didn't make any sort of, like, commitments to Mercedes to receive the blessing. He was just like, y'all seem cool, here.
In a matter of speaking.
Basically.
Yeah, y'all seem, yeah. He says, 8 million-year-old tree.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to ask this person, you know, that is helpful. I would probably...
That's good. That's fair. Because she has a question for you.
Okay, sure.
After all your time, clearly you made your way to Redwall Abbey. Why?
Well, for a number of reasons. I wasn't sure where else to go. And
It was an escape.
I had heard that you were there. Or rather, I had hoped that you were there.
I was for a time.
Sandra, do you ever...
Cheeks. He grins.
Nobody has called me that in a while.
Really? Now that... She leans in at that point. Now that is a surprise. Also, your ears. Interesting.
Sandra, do you ever think about what could have been if we had made different choices?
Always.
It's one of the first things I think of when I wake up. And I go to sleep with that in my head. The past 2 years have been an embarrassing string of terrible decisions on my part, from joining with the Long Patrol to leaving the Long Patrol. And everything in between. But I will say that ever since I've joined my friends, I believe in what we are doing. I feel as though I have a purpose. And I know you must feel the same way about you and your friends here, but I think the difference is that I am not willing to hurt people, except if they are going to hurt others. And it seems as though you are going to hurt others, and I worry that is going to make me have to hurt you.
She actually gets up and moves towards you, takes your paw in hers, and kind of squats down eye to eye. Well, fate has brought us back together, at least in some accord. Whether that's to reminisce of a time past, a reunion of sorts, or as adversaries.
Well, you can tell, like, the fur has just kind of stuck up and he's got chills. And then he says,
She pecks you on the cheek.
we don't have to make a decision about any of those three paths tonight. But it would be nice to reminisce about the time before we made those decisions.
Or the way forward. She goes and sits back down. Looks into the fire.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the way forward. Fuck that. I wanted to talk about some mac and cheese shit. So Tamaris is just gonna look into the fire too and just be silent.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Oh man. Dude, I've already gotten teary-eyed, what, twice this fucking episode? That's a 24.
That peck on the cheek gave you focus.
Yeah, what am I focusing on?
Good question. So, as you brain sort of remembers, oh yeah, we're on watch.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I thought Elijah was gonna like turn into RoboCop or something.
Oh no! Spoilers for episode 11. Anyway. As you look around, the sounds of the distant sort of wildlife, crickets and otherwise, the snoring from the denizens of the unwanted around you. Considering the confrontation, it is peaceful, familiar. Your watch closes without issue. With the exception of the fact that Elijah, aside from a few blinks of his eyes, hasn't moved a muscle. Thanks for the raid, ATL by night. Welcome to the amphitheater. You're in the middle of some really wild shit. Welcome. As I can check off my bucket, let's hit on Bill. Anyway. Twice, actually. Twice.
Wow.
2 different characters, twice. Check. Anyway.
Before, I'm just going to ask her, as our watch is ending.
Sure.
He hasn't moved in hours. Is that normal?
Reminds me of Lord Raphael a little bit.
Huh.
He can be scary. He's smart and otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, I got nothing else, so I'm happy moving on to another scene.
Right before she gets up to wake someone up to wrap up your watch, you know you do have another option. You and your friends. You could head to Castle Florette. See what we've done. She gets up and walks over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to wherever my camp is and bed down for the night.
Okay. Saoirse?
Yeah.
Your attempted murder. Oh, it's just will it's, God, I shouldn't have said it. It's worse. We'll join you. Fascinating.
Do I?
I went to go look after we left for just a second. I have expected you to put out the fire.
Why?
Why indeed?
It's not like there was any danger to anything there.
That's why we went over there.
Yeah.
You know what's wonderful? We're sort of on an even keel now. You know one of ours. We know one of yours.
She's going to... She's actually going to tell them everything that she can do with the blessing of Musanus.
Oh, my dear. Why did you do that?
Why not?
We met 4-5 hours ago.
Yeah.
You trust us that much already?
You're
Or is this a matter of just giving your cards away at the table?
No. You're my kin.
Aye. It's true.
I've no reason not to trust you. Besides, we're on the same side.
You have plenty of reasons not to trust us.
Do I?
You and your friends? Sure. But perhaps I'm overthinking it.
I'd say so.
Fair enough. Tell me more about your, is it Gran? What's your Gran like?
Ah, she's wonderful. She's been my best friend for as long as I can remember. She's the one that taught me how to use magic.
Wonderful. What was her name?
Oh, hell spells. I don't remember. I know I sent it to you, but I don't remember half of what was in that.
That's amazing as hell. No worries. I
Crystal,
have it up.
No worries at all, because like he said Sandra and I was like, who? it took.
Who's that?
You can go
Who
back and
names
watch
the
the
hair
VOD.
Sandra?
There's like a 3-second
Bill
pause
does.
where I was like, "What? Who is this person?"
Yep.
Amazing. Auron is your brand's name.
Auron. Yeah.
They look at each other, and what's your passive insight?
Oh, passive insight.
10
is
plus
14.
this 14.
Yep.
You immediately detect a look of recognition.
Do you know her?
We do. You indeed.
You on good terms?
Think we're about to find out, I suppose. She never told you about your great aunts, did she?
I don't know. Did she? No? Oh, God. They actually are my kin. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yay. No, she didn't.
We were a coven once.
Saoirse perks up at that. Really?
You know us. We don't show our age very well.
I can imagine.
Bet she hasn't changed one bit. Stubborn old broad.
That she is.
Fate is fascinatingly awesome.
It's funny. Near the start of all this, when told that fate would be what guided me, I looked at, what was it, Martin? I looked at Martin the Warrior and told him I control my own fate. And you know, I think that finding you is exactly what I needed.
So were you right? Or was Martin right?
I think I was. Fact is,
Possible.
my friends would have convinced me to be against you, be against this whole group. But I chose not to.
The day is still young, my dear.
What happens when my gran agrees with us? Well, yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty sure she agrees with the unwanted, but yeah, we'll see.
Wow. It's possible that both you and Martin were correct.
Yeah?
I think based off of what everyone's experiencing, everyone's seeing things through the gray that we typically always do.
Yeah. Getting everyone else to see that. It's tricky, but once they do, they'll understand.
Let's hope so. Make a perception check.
Okie dokie. That is a 19.
19. Someone rolls decently. You
Oh,
still
no, Bill's
smell.
been balling all night.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. There's still that hint of the ember on the air, whether that's coming from the fire nearby or fire a few minutes away. Unclear. But just about 30 feet up in the trees, you see familiar yellow eyes.
Oh.
Set of 3 of them.
Saoirse's gonna fly up.
I never get tired of that. Literally ever. Ever. And you wordlessly, and what you would notice just with a quick glance is no one seems to move. And as you approach, the eyes become very familiar as the outline of the small tree rats that are the painted ones.
Oh.
Hear you fly up and scatter.
You don't need to leave. Damn. Well, she'll fly back down then.
As you begin to fly back down, Venra and Sana we're following you, and then you punt back. Well, I suppose that was over.
Yeah, those are the painted ones.
We're quite familiar. They're the reason for the darkness.
Are they?
Can't attack what they can't see.
Interesting.
Helps with bandits too.
I don't know. I usually just blow them away.
Fly up and attack them in the face.
Yeah. You know, Thunderwave.
Indeed. Indeed.
Makes it easier. Being out of reach from them is... Honestly, it makes life so much easier.
Flying back down near the fire. The only difference in Elijah's form is there is a large great axe across his form.
Saoirse's gonna go over to him.
As you approach, the blood red eyes reflecting the firelight in front.
Elijah.
Approach.
Should you not be resting?
I am.
You are.
Yes.
How do you rest without sleep?
It's special.
Clearly. I mean, you are a badger. Badgers are special.
And he sort of takes the great axe and kind of just spikes the blade into the ground. It sort of like up and stands. His entire form. Sometimes my kind with the deepest levels of wrath. that require as much rest as others. But just in case, we have everyone keep watch anyway.
Understood.
I am merely one beast after all.
Could you tell me, I wonder, why you have such wrath?
Many badgers believe it to be history. Protecting something as large, as powerful as a mountain on the sea comes with many gifts and many afflictions. Personally, I believe it's what allows me to go farther than many others.
I would agree with that.
You stayed with us, you and your hair friend.
I believe in your cause.
Does he?
He's coming around.
He nods. Your vote of confidence is appreciated. Though your friends may not agree with our methods,
Fact
whether they
is,
come around or not.
Fact is, I think we can find better methods.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have found a kinship.
Found actual kin, apparently.
Is that so?
Yeah, those are my aunts. It's nice to find family.
How long have you been to Redwall Abbey?
I think I've been there for a year. So, I don't know. What, 3 or 4 seasons? Not long.
I'm looking forward to a family reunion of my own.
You have family there.
Yes.
Do I know any of them?
You can think of one badger that you know very well.
Which one?
Abrita.
Crystal does not remember.
Abrita, who visited you
Oh.
in your room.
Oh! Abrita. She's a good friend.
Just nods.
Oh,
Glad to see that mother is still kicking.
she is. She's wonderful.
I don't believe that she'll be excited to see me.
Why?
You know why.
Oh.
That is, unless something has changed and you think that she would agree with my methods, with our methods.
She might.
We will see.
Either way, it would be good to be back.
It would be good to be back. Sits back down.
And Saoirse's gonna go back over to her aunts, and they'll probably, bed down for a bit.
All right. And I think as the morning begins to break eventually, I think we're going to leave it there.
Oh my god.
How's everybody
Holy
feeling?
Crap. I love this
Wow,
so
wowie,
much.
wow.
I love it. I love it.
I can unload. I've so much, you guys. Because I will just step outside the game and say, one of the greatest things about D&D games, you don't know if something's going to land. You shoot the fucking shot anyway. So, be brave, be awesome. So,
Yeah.
woo! By the way, welcome to level 4, motherfuckers.
Woo!
Hey!
So, wow. I am going to literally run and scream all the happiness out of my head later. Oh, God. Wheels are fun. So, as always, thank you so very much, all of you, for being here. Incredible job from this incredible cast of ridiculous, amazing people that I'm so honored to play with every week. Thank you so very much. Try not to cry. We're going to start with the man on the ones and twos, the man that I get to yell at about tech and stuff all the time, which I never very clear. But the man that kills it all the time. Billiam, what are you doing? Who are you? And what's up?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to Bill cries like 3 or 4 times tonight's show. I can be found on Twitter at Philadelphia. Now that Elon Musk owns it, I'm trying to tweet more because, just
It doesn't own it yet.
really just try to get verified. So follow me at Philadelphia on Twitter. I do a very fun show on Friday mornings with my good buddy PB Smitty. It is called AMGMs, and essentially the premise is that we were going to talk mostly about D&D and TTRPG stuff, but it's mostly about bodily functions and this sort of stuff that happens in private. So come and join us right here
on the internet.
Come and join us right here on the Amphitheater Twitch channel Friday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's early, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Prince!
Hello, everyone. I'm Prince, also known as Dimples and Dice. I've been playing your emotional, sort of peaceful paladin core. Yeah, he's going through it right now. I'm
sorry, I'm a monster, but I love you so much.
It's fine. It's all love. Let's see what I have going on. You can find me next over on Saturday. I think. Yeah, Saturday. For Vancouver by Night, Delve into Darkness. This is our season finale episode, so do come through and watch that. Some shit goes down, and we set up for an excellent 4th season.
Cool.
Also in Philly by Night immediately after that. That is 9 p.m. Eastern Time, where I'm the storyteller for Vampire the Masquerade Philly by Night. You can catch me on Sundays doing my own thing in the DMC for Wayward Revelry, which is a D&D 5e campaign based in Wild Beyond the Witchlight with some sort of horror kind of twist of my own making, and some very emotional character building stuff. So do come.
We love emotional
that
damage on this channel.
It's true. It's the whole thing. And then coming up on May 15th, I'm going to be on a charity fundraiser over on FreeForge. I'll be running a D&D one-shot called Cosmic Jelly, which is a level 20 D&D one-shot where well, my players are going to be facing off against Tiamat, based off the Monstars from Space Jam. And
I love that
Yes!
so much. That's such a great idea.
The heads are the Monstars from
That's a-
Space Jam, and it's called Cosmic Jolly. Just
Oh my god, I love it.
have fun with that. It's gonna be great. There's some excellent donation incentives, including making Jaiko Morden appear. We'll just leave it at that.
Fuck yeah. That's amazing. Complete sidebar. Someone reminded me, make a note for next week that Scrag took third watch with someone that we will talk about next time. Crystal, what's happening?
Hi. Hello, people. My name is Crystal Fear. You can find me at Crystal_Fear on Twitter and at Crystal Fear pretty much everywhere else. You can find me every Thursday over on twitch.tv/gildinglight, where I am playing in a folk horror version of D&D with DC Lasser, and it is called it's a spin from the Inspectors. It is called The Inspectors: The Echoing Dark. We are, I think, about to fight a cult leader. So,
Business as usual, sure.
yeah.
Love it. I 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 love it. April Raygun, what's happening? You're muted.
You're muted.
Hey. Zoom.
Hello, friends. I am April. You can find me everywhere as April Raygun. I have a lot of things going on. You can find me here. You could. Why did I say it? They know I'm here. I'm literally. Hi.
You're here though.
I am here. You could also find me on Sundays, where I run Strixhaven, where Prince is a player. Stop looking at me like that, Prince. I did so good at the intro. I have a lot of other things coming up. There's some great, super exciting things that I really would like to tell you more about, but I can't yet. So keep an eye out on the lookout for things like that, because there's like at least 3 games that we're announcing soon. And you might also find me in that charity event Prince talked about, but not on his night, a different night. I don't know what night it is.
Oh my god. No.
Just follow me
It's
on
fine.
social media. I'm much more coherent there.
But I
Same.
love you anyway, so it doesn't matter. Lynn, what's happening?
Hey, I'm Lynn, Grimlet Art, pretty much everywhere, Twitter, Twitch, where you can find my art and what I'm doing throughout the week. Next time you'll see me is on Saturday for 2 games pretty much back to back. First is Scion, Birth of New Gods on the Wander Society, where are a bunch of godlings, and I think I'm gonna get trained by a Tengu, I think. Some sorts of should be fun. My character has noodle arms and cannot fight, so that should be interesting. And on right after that, on Prescott Destroy's channel, it is Starblade Battalion, where we are a bunch of mech pilots, and my character had a hell of a time. She cried at dinner because she betrayed her family because her team used it as leverage without telling her. So there's a time. There's probably going to be some yelling this session, so I can't wait.
Ooh, you'll love to see it. I love me a good yelling. Very cool. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. And I have been Jacob Plick, fucking Jacob on the internets. Here, as April said, here. And on Wednesdays, Duel's Gaming Journey, we're wrapping up the greatest game of all time, Chrono Trigger. We got Chrono back, we've got Magus, and now we got a bunch of side quests, and then we're gonna go motherfucking kill Lavos. So come and hang out and see the shenanigans. So same time as this show, 8:00 p.m. Eastern time, right here on this very channel. Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, over on the GR crew. We'll be doing some D&D 5e. There's actually a bunch of games happening for Extra Life over the course of the weekend. That's my particular game. Somehow I get to follow Diana D'Amico? Diana of Dire Dice, anyway. I forget how to pronounce her last name.
You had
Sorry,
it right.
Diana. You're right. Okay, cool. Fuck yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I did it. So never second guess yourself. Just do do the thing. Anyway, so
Oh,
that'll
you
be
get
super
to
fun.
you get to deal with my chaotic other half. My
I do
wife's in that
because
game.
your wife is playing that game.
That's gonna be
I'm so
good.
excited about it. So yeah, I'm super stoked. It's gonna be a good time. And yeah, come blow things up. There are many things, dragons, magic items, nat 20s, and all the advantages and disadvantages, and you know, try to make my my life difficult. It won't work. I'm really good at charity streams, so bring the noise. And so that's Saturday. Sunday is this is a Dragonlance week. So Dragonlance Dragons of Rebirth, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Twitch.tv/so many games. So I mentioned last week that there might be 2 isonophs. There's actually 3 of my character in this world, and they know about each other now. It's banana pants. I cried. It was amazing. So you gotta come and hang out and see how we destroy Kryn, I guess. I don't know. So that should be a really good time. And then May the 16th, I think, over on Jester's channel, we'll be doing I think a Jasper's Game Day related one shot, also in the Feywild. And I will be reprising my very, very first character that I ever played on stream, Robroth, who's a Gold Dragonborn Paladin. And what's great is D&D Jordan Lee is playing Kasara, and that's actually where we first met a couple years ago. So we're going to be playing those characters. So they've been hopping around these different like charity games and trying to find each other and stuff like that. So it's going to be great. And so it'll be carnival, and I'm sure nothing bad will happen at all. By the way, Robroth hates fun stuff, just like Tamara. So it should be a good time.
Yeah, Zero's definitely not gonna put y'all through anything bad
Not a
whatsoever.
thing. Not everything's fine. It's gonna be fine. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And there's always a bunch of other ridiculous shit. Some really cool things coming to the amphitheater in May. Hold on to your butts. It's going down. You may see a few of these faces again sooner than you might think. So what it do, baby boo? So with that, as we always like to remind you before we get out of here, Black Lives Matter. Trans rights are human rights. Stop Asian hate. You're not alone. You're pretty fucking cool. And if you're not, Josh Simons will tell you that you're wrong because he's like the greatest bean ever. And you are too. So don't forget that. Lastly, but not leastly, Billiam, where are we headed?
We are going over to So Many Games, who are playing some Ravenloft.
Yes, they are. Let's see if Jeremy's killed anybody. Let's do it. So, thank you all so much. See you next week. Oh my god, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Technical issue for some reason. It's
holding.
like the raid thing doesn't. It says the raid has been created, but nothing has popped up.
Okay.
I don't know.
It certainly hasn't. Let me see if I can do it.
It looks like the raid timer stopped. Oh, it's going
That's
again.
weird. Oh, is it headed? Are we headed?
The timer is going down very slowly.
Yeah. I don't know how to fix this.
That's okay.
It's
Let
so
me try
slow.
it.
You just wait.
Or just
That's
wait.
all.
All
right,
I will tell. While we're waiting, I will tell you a fun behind-the-scenes fact.
Ooh.
I was not going to talk about Elijah's upbringing or any of that situation until Seisha walked up to him.
Ooh.
I want to know these people.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
And then
goes.
the raid left. It worked.
Did it work?
Did it?
Yeah, it raided.
Yeah, I told you, just
We're
wait.
hosting.
Whenever that
Oh, it must
happens,
have been
you just
Yeah.
wait.
Just wait.
Yeah, I don't know
Go.
why the raid timer didn't show up. Did
It's
I do
a
something
thing.
wrong?
Twitch being Twitch.
Yeah, it was just being
Give
dumb.
me a moment. I spilled ink all over my hands. I was
Okay,
refilling